The Paw Patrol movie is the best movie I have ever had the privilege to lay my eyes on and pierce my ears to. Thank you. Good night.
Sorry about that. They were threatening the life of my sister. Paw Patrol. I grew up on it. I basically worshipped that show as a child, apparently. I was so young, I don't even remember them, right? I had to watch this movie to remind myself of the dog's name. That's how young I was. But the point I'm trying to make is I grew up on the show Paw Patrols. I grew up on that, and I'm pretty sure most people can agree with that too. So naturally, right, when I saw this movie, you know, this trailer coming out, I think it was announced on Kids' Choice Awards back in 2021. I was 11 years old. So naturally, I was like, oh my word, I grew up with the show. I should naturally have a want to go watch that movie, right? 5 years later, I finally watched this movie, and there is no such thing as a Paw Patrol movie in my eyes. And then right after I watched this boring piece of media, I get to realize that there is a second movie called the it's called the Mighty Paw Patrol movie. And then when I edited the video, my last video talking about Family Link, I saw that there's another Paw Patrol movie coming out, because we're all asking for these movies, so they continue to supply us with them because they love us so much. I just have to get this off of my chest. If you ever thought to yourself, damn, I wonder what the Paw Patrol movie is like, stop thinking that. It is a waste of time. I still have it downloaded because I want to explain the movie to you. So strap in, because you are in for quite a ride. Get your blanket, because I have mine. Let's start this stupid movie. The movie starts with a family of turtles. And this family of turtles is trying to cross a road. But you are introduced by the sucky turtle that is taking forever to cross. Stupid turtle. And then we are introduced to the Tyler Perry character who swerves out the way to avoid killing the turtle, and then is now dangling on top of the bridge. Why that shot looked like AI. Hold on, what the flip? Look here. He's essentially just tilting over. Look here. He's just tilting over like that. At that speed. Why the hell are these things floating? And then this looks like whatever. A bystander sees this and then called the Paw Patrol. Patrol! Paw Patrol! Paw Patrol. Paw Patrol. Duh. What the? Paw Patrol. Bro. Whatever. You know how in the cartoon it's set in Adventure Bay? Well, this movie is set in Adventure City. City, opposed from Adventure Bay, which is where it's set. You see, only a real Paw Patrol's geek like myself will understand this. And then in said city, we are introduced to this new dog character named Liberty. And then one unfunny bit later, then we are back in Adventure City to watch Mayor Humdiggle's rally. Oh yeah, this is where the rest of the $3 of the budget into this movie went into. Yeah, Jimmy Kimmel to voice this news reporter.
Fair and square. Well, maybe not fair, but who's keeping track?
And then, because no one likes Mayor Humdingers, Liberty decides to take it to herself and call the Paw Patrol itself to stop him, I guess. I don't flippin' know. Ryder and his pups agree to go to Adventure City, but Chase decides to put his paw down and says that he will not go to Adventure City because of some sad law that happened back there. And just as a disclaimer, please hold back your tears. So apparently when Chase was a pup, he was abandoned into Adventure City, you know, they just left him there. Look at this scene. Look at this scene. What? Look at. Okay, he's a dog. He's placed like in the way of the door, right?
He's placed in the way of the door, and now that way, if they want to close the door, he would need to be moved.
He is clearly placed.
In the way of the door, but then they close it with no problem. Now suddenly it's to the back of it. The door didn't go through it. It's somehow behind it. You know what I mean? I'm no flippin' animating engineer. What the flip?
But they did a horrible job.
They did an amazing job animating the hell out of this movie.
Flippin' yeah. And then he was a lost pup, and the world was so big, and he was so small. And then Chase saved him from getting run over. And then Ryder convinced Chase to get over it, and then they ended up going on their little tour bus back to Adventure Park. And then we are taken to a university where Mayor Humdingers is looking for a cloud sucker machine that sucks up clouds, so to avoid rain for a firework festival that he's planning on doing later. He threatens to close the university if he doesn't get said device. He gets the device and uses it to suck up clouds, which makes the scientist very anxious, which you only understand if you watch the rest of the movie. This movie is so well written, I can't even put it in words.
Excellent. Well, isn't it?
What is her haircut? I'm sorry, what is her? It's clearly braids, right? But then she made a ponytail. Just braid the braids. Why does she have to have a flippin' pineapple crown on top? That looks so dumb. The Paw Patrol then heads over to Paw Patrol headquarters, right, in Adventure City now. And then they are introduced to the, very expensive tech that are there, and they are very not used to it, and whatever.
We've got everything we need at our fingertips.
Marshall, next time warn me before you stick a building up my nose.
Whoa, oh, okay, up your nose.
So cool.
Flippin' yell. Thought he was gonna say stick a building up his ass. And then we get this really funny scene where Rubble cross-dresses into Sky's clothing.
Sky.
Sky. Oops. It's not important how it looks. It's how it makes you feel.
Shut up! Okay. I blame myself for having ears and a brain. This movie might just be the best movie flippin' ever. And then we fast forward to the actual firework festival, and it bombs. Literally, no. Mayor Humdinger actually almost bombed the entire city, and Paw Patrol had to be called to save everyone. You remember Liberty? That dog. Yeah, she essentially is used as a tool to aid the Paw Patrol through the city, because you remember, they're not used to it. They come in and they save the day. Marshall shoots water balls at the fire and it extinguishes the fire. Rocky does something, I don't flippin' know. And then we get to the scene where it's Chase's turn to be a dog, right? To be a Paw Patrol dog, right? And he flippin' messes up. No, he's horrible in this movie. He should hang in the towel. Like that type of bad. And look at this shot. Oh my word. A real sense of urgency and sense of danger. You know what I mean? I really feel that when looking at the shot right here. It's just like, help me. Help me. I'm standing here with my hands in my pockets. I'm screaming because the building is on fire. The fire is busy being a fire over there. And I'm just standing here, shivering in my timbers, just, standing in this building that's currently on fire. And then after Chase gets hung, then Marshall comes in to save him with the water balls that I mentioned earlier.
What the fuck?
The Paw Patrol save the day again. Chase now gets a basically a pep talk from Ryder because he's now depressed that he couldn't get the job flipping done. And then we cut forward to a really depressing scene showcasing Chase's, depressive thoughts and because of his PTSD of Adventure City. And why should I care? I don't know. Wow. This is so dumb. I don't feel sad at all. I just don't care. This movie is so flippin' boring. I'm just gonna lightning round this part of the flippin' video. Maya Humdinger built a loop-de-loop of a train rack and then it messes up, obviously, and then the Paw Patrol come save the people after they were hung upside down. Rubble did some concrete thing and then Marshall made a slide so they can slide down safely. And then Chase messes up again. Oh my word, he's useless in this movie. He's actually, somehow, Liberty is a better Paw Patrol member than him in this movie. Up until the very end. Oh my word, up until the very end. Not only that, is he useless, he also pinpoints the blame on Ryder. I'm like, what is it me for? What did I do? Ryder isn't the one that messed up when the building was on fire. Ryder isn't the one that messed up, that stopped in action when the people were hanging upside down from that loop-de-loop train track. You are... It hurts. It hurts. This movie, it forces feelings out of you. It tries to force emotions so bad, and it's not doing a good job. The scene where Chase is supposedly, sad because Ryder forced him to come to Adventure City, even though he has traumatic experiences there or whatever. I'm just mad. I'm just mad at Chase because what do you mean?
What kind of leader gives up on someone the second things get hard? Chase?
What are you talking about? He didn't give up on you. What? You choked. You're the one that choked. Huh? Why are you getting mad at Ryder? Chase then he runs away and then gets captured by Mayor Humdinger's secret dog catching service and takes him to a dog pound that's apparently illegal for some reason. Ryder and Liberty are, funny enough, on the chase to find Chase and goes to this one shop where they learn that multiple dogs have gone missing in a short amount of time, and they connect the dots and find a correlation, because they assume that it's Mayor Humdinger, being the cat lover he is and dog hater he is, and devise a plan that would get Liberty captured by him, taken to the dog pound, find that location, and then save Chase and possible other dogs in the process. With the help of a small act of vandalism, they then save Chase and Liberty and also the other dogs. And then this is probably the part that was written by Christopher Nolan himself. We are taken back to where Chase was found by Ryder, the road he was in. And then the Ryder starts talking. Oh my, it's so genius, right? It's so genius. Ryder says that the only reason he saved Chase was because he said he thought he was a brave puppy in the situation that he was. He said that, the very vulnerable state that he was in, being how small he was and literally could, being able to get stepped on by commoners. He thought he was looking at a superhero.
I didn't adopt you because I felt sorry for you. I chose you because you were the bravest pup I'd ever seen.
It was such an emotional moment, I almost forgot to cry myself. How the hell did they manage to make a second one? Anyways, and then we are shown that the capacity, the cloud sucker machine, yeah, you remember that? The capacity of the cloud sucker that sucks up clouds is now being filled, and now it can't suck up any more clouds because apparently they just left that on. It was just sucking clouds, in the background of the movie while it was happening. Mayor Humdinger doesn't care, he's happy with sunny shine and rainbows. And then after the cloud sucker machine explodes, then the movie decides to finally get a move on, plot-wise. The scientist calls the Paw Patrol and informs them of the fact that there's a big storm happening. Even though they could see that for themselves, she felt the need to call them.
What's the emergency? The mesoscale convective system is causing exponential thermal lift and catastrophic downbursts at over 190 knots. What? It's a super...
Shut! Oh my damn it! This joke wasn't funny the first time. They were like, oh my word, it was so good the first time. Let's flip and recycle the hell out of this. They literally did it 5 times. One was enough. I'm not kidding. They actually recycled that joke 5 times throughout the movie. If you don't believe me, go watch it. It becomes less and less funnier as it goes. The joke, if for anyone confused, the joke is scientific words from scientist followed up by a what? That's the joke. That's the joke. Anyways, the Paw Patrol then head over to the scene of the crime where the cloud sucker machine actually exploded and has created like a vortex. And after everyone was saved, the last person that needed to be saved was Ryder himself, which led up to this absolute, like this piece of artwork scene. You know what? I'm just going to show you. Just watch this.
Oh my goodness.
He jumped.
And then after Chase rescues Ryder, Sky decides to go and deal with the cloud sucker machine.
Okay, Cloudcatcher, catch this.
Why can't you just bomb the thing? Oh, flip! And with that, the cloud sucker machine dies. Mayor Humdinger finally gets arrested, and the movie ends. Happy New Year! As you can tell by the smile on my face, I'm very sad that the movie had to end. Final verdict, this movie is somehow just as bad as the second Megamind movie, in my opinion. You know, the writing is just as soulless. The writing is just as soulless, as I said. The animation is somewhat as mediocre as it is the plot. You know, it resembles a plot in some way. It somewhat resembles a plot, you know? I'm still trying to figure what plot I'm trying to follow, but I got something of it. Moral of the story, this movie is a waste of your time. Exactly an hour and 20 minutes of your time. Unfortunately, I will have to work on 2 other videos talking about the second and third movie. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I wish you a happy rest of your day / morning / afternoon / evening / good night. Deuces.